Welcome to Consumer Problems in Clothing. I'm Miss Long and I wanted to hop on here and give you a quick little introduction and welcome to our course. You can see that I'm on Blackboard and I'm going to go into our Syllabus and Schedule tab that you'll see right here on the left-hand menu. Above that is the Announcements tab, but I'll cover that one in just a minute. The thing that you're seeing here is what I'm calling the short syllabus. For that, it just gives you a quick little one-page introduction to the course. On the right-hand side here of the screen, you're going to see my information. Something to note is that my office hours are virtual on Mondays and then in person are virtual on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I am happy to meet with you though if there is a time that you need outside of those. You can click on office hours right here on this screen, or you can find that information in several other places as well. So the important dates right here on the right side, those are just a handful of things that I have pulled out of our schedule, but you definitely want to go back and look at the full schedule for other dates. If you keep scrolling down, this is our textbook. This is something you need, so I would definitely encourage you to get it rather quickly in order to complete the class. The library does have one book that you can check out, but it's a lot easier sometimes if you have your own. And at this point, it has been used for a little while, so there should be several in circulation. So let me just kind of scroll right over here. This pie chart, this is going to be the breakdown of our course. So there are 640 total points, but you see something called 10 journal reflections on there. I'll talk a little bit about that in just a second. Okay, so scrolling down, this talks about our course, some of the learning objectives, some of the assignments that we'll be completing, but then also some of those university policies that you need to definitely familiarize yourself with. This video here that you're seeing is just another introduction to the course. I talk a little bit more in depth about what we'll do for the class and who I am, and so that is there for you to view if you would like to. This below the video is going to be our course schedule. This will be your best friend over this course of the semester. Something to note, you've got to scroll over just a little bit in order to be able to view all of this. I guess I should say scroll down a little bit to view it. It's 2 pages, but with this, I've tried to block it so that you have time to ask questions in office hours before things are due. And you'll see that I've tried to pretty much stick with Monday and Wednesday due dates so that you have entire weekends to work on things. Hopefully with it being consistent, it will help you with planning and preparation. So if you look on the schedule, you'll see some of the things that have parentheses and then numbers and letters. If you look right here, that's going to tell you your point value and then what module you're going to be able to find that in. So I've tried to code that. I've also listed it down here at the very bottom, so in case you forget, you will find it on the actual schedule. So that means that it's located in Module 0, Module 1, Module 5, and how many points it's going to be worth. If you look right here in this column, that's going to tell you the module that we're tentatively needing to be in order to really stay on top of everything so that you're not falling behind. So there are basically 3 different ways that you can view this tentative schedule. You can click it right here and download it as a PDF. This is a link that's actually to a Google Doc, but then I've also got it embedded here. Lots of ways to access it. If you keep scrolling down past this schedule, you're going to find our full lengthy syllabus that has everything in it, and that's what you're taking the syllabus quiz on. So refer back to this at a later time if you need to, but please initially start off reviewing that. The course message link that I have there, this is in 2 places also on Blackboard. I just prefer messages through Blackboard so that you can come here and click on it and create it. So you can do that here, or you're able to do that underneath this My Instructor tab. So both places will take you to the same thing. So let's go ahead and look back over this menu. The announcements, this is where I will post any of our weekly announcements, but I will also push them to your email as well. With that, I will try to do those once a week. And then if there's anything else that needs to be shared, I will do it more than once, but I don't want to over communicate. But if you need more, need less, just have to let me know that. So the next thing is that syllabus and schedule tab, which we've already talked about. But the online classroom, that's the next one that's a really big one. This is pretty much where everything is going to happen. Everything will pretty much happen in the online classroom that you really need access to. And you'll see that I've got the class broken down into units and modules. So 4 different units, 15 modules total. The first one is Getting Started one, and this just really lets you know about the course. It helps me get to know you better and just making sure that you're prepared to be successful in an online class with me. So you'll click on this, and that's going to take you to the Getting Started module. You will be able to see modules next week, where you're actually able to see module 1 and a few other things as well. So for every module, let's just go ahead and take a peek into one so that you can see what that's going to look like. For every module, there's going to be what we call a module overview. There will be information about the readings because you don't necessarily have to read every single page of that book. It is beautiful and it looks like a coffee table book, but it's a lot if you're trying to do it in one semester. So with this, you'll be able to see exactly what you need to be reading in each of those modules. If there are assignments or discussions, those will be due or posted here as well. And so you'll want to make sure that you are going into the actual online classroom module folders versus just using the app and the calendar. I had that happen a few times last semester and it made it more difficult for everyone. If there is a discussion, it will be linked here as well. So I mentioned those journal reflections. Let's go ahead and talk about those. So with that, I have these worth 100 points because I really do enjoy getting to read your responses and find out kind of what you're thinking about each of these. There are 15 journal reflection opportunities, but you are only responsible for 10 of those. If you just want to do the first 10 and knock those out, that's fine. But recognize that you do have to get 10 by the end of this semester. And if you don't get 10, you can't go back at any point. Once we get through modules 1 through 5, that means you can't go back and do those journal entries later. So please make sure you're planning accordingly for that. You can see all of the reflection pieces so that you can pick and choose which ones you want to do. I've got a video that I'll share with you on how to exactly create a journal entry, and I'll just share that separately from this video. So now to kind of go back up here and go through the rest of this menu. When we're looking here, you've got the discussion link directly there, your journal reflections, and then the calendar. I mentioned this. I won't really use this as much because I want you in that online classroom instead. So you've got your grades here. When you're looking at your grades, make sure that you review the rubric and the comments that I will leave you. If you find something wrong, just let me know. I'm human and make mistakes. The My Instructor tab, this is going to tell you a little bit about me. Look and see when office hours are, get the link for those, and it will pull up Google Meet. You can find that here in this tab or in your syllabus and schedule tab as well. The course messages, that's the one I mentioned that you'll send me a message instead of using my UCA email. And then I'm not really going to do a lot with any of the other things, but those are kind of the basic things that I would really say you want to pay attention to for this semester. I would say go ahead and get started in the syllabus and schedule tab, and then go into that online classroom in Unit 0. So overall, everything that you're really getting started with here in the beginning is going to be in those two places. And then you'll move into the online classroom for the rest of the semester. If you have any questions or need anything else, please just reach out to me. I will be constantly reminding you through announcements and communicating with videos when things are due, what all you have to do. So if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out to me, come to office hours, or set up another time to meet with me. All right, I hope that you have a great semester, and I look forward to getting to know you.